kind of look at, well, like I grabbed the dual analog sticks actually. Alright. Okay. On destroy. So when on destroy begins, it uses the wave count of the target that was just destroyed. Hi there, Marcus EQN. Actually, normally Thursdays. Okay, so here's how my schedule works. Every weekday, and it's probably going to start on weekends here pretty soon too. I do noon to 2 p.m. with Unity Daily, which is Unity development. Then after that, on Thursdays, I usually take a 3-hour break to get myself ready for Dead Feature Rant, the H1Z1 talk show from 5 to 7 p.m. And then after that, maybe some extra playtime. I don't actually have any Landmark scheduled today. I might play some Landmark because I definitely want to get in on that Karen design contest. Not contest. Well, it is a contest, but it's the workshop stuff, because there's definitely some ideas I want to work out based on stuff from Castles and Crab Shacks, as well as what we saw in the workshop show yesterday, and then talked about on Live Feature Rant. Thanks, Nightbot. So I probably should play some Landmark today, but I don't necessarily have it scheduled. And then the other thing is, earlier I started up Steam Daily, which is actually a show that I'm going to be starting up here, which is 1 to 2 hours of playing games from my Steam library as I go down the list and play everything. The heck tune is this? Oh, yeah. That would make sense. For sure, and I'll definitely be redoing my information and posting everything up pretty soon here to make things a little bit more clear. I'm also kind of in the process of reworking the schedule. I really like Live Feature Rant where it's at, but I feel like it might be a lot of Landmark for people to have to sit through, so I've been thinking of maybe adjusting the schedule ever so slightly. Specifically, looking at taking over the Friday slot because there isn't a show going on Fridays right now. And it seems more the time to get people together. Okay, so wave still active. The only reason why it's false here is because it needs to be set as true later on. Target list remove this dot transform. So this removes the transform from the actual list of targets. So target destroyed, target still being counted. I almost want to make this one line. Just make sure that doesn't break anything. Cool deal, Mark CQN. I will see you later. Have a good day. Yeah, I think I like that being on one bigger line. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Alright, which one is which again? Oops. So when I destroy the red one, it should actually... Oops. Where else could that perhaps be? Yeah, and this is all just movement. I can set this down for a moment. Wave's still active too. Recognizes it there. So that only works if it's the last one destroyed. I guess hypothetically I could just do this. User with a name. Hello. Say what? But I'm not doing an enumeration operation. Unity, why are you trying to mess with me? Maybe I need to close both of y'all real quick and bring y'all back up. Oh, whoops. There, that ought to do it. No. Maybe I need to do another if check right here. The active waves count does not equal 0. That should take care of that invalid operator. Nope. Is it that I'm removing things from a list as I count through them? That's probably it, isn't it? I wonder how I can pull that off then. That's tricky. Damn, that's a silly one. Damn. It's like trying to unlock a treasure chest, what with the only key that exists being inside the chest itself. Also, it's a magical treasure chest, and that's the only key that can open it. Also, the lock only opens from one direction. The outside, not the inside, so you can't shake the box around and have the key somehow fall into place. That's what I'm dealing with here. Unless I just create a quick list of the ones that need to be deleted and then delete them afterward. Wait, I'm going about this the wrong way. Remove all is what I'm looking for. Does it need one of those on it? I don't think they're linking up. So clear is used at the end of the program. Should probably be looking at lists then. Remove all. Yeah, I tried clear. It didn't, I thought I tried that at least. Oh, well then. Let's see if I get any errors. And thank you, by the way. I was looking it up on the documents or whatever. All waves removed. Next wave, please. Okay. So when all the waves have been cleared, we're in good shape. So this is scan remaining targets. Oops, let's check number 2. I should probably, whoops, 2, not 3. Give it the same important labeling. Check number 2. I might need to review that section. The end of on destroy. There are no active targets. Jump to the next wave. Yeah, Jay the Badger. I'm working on remaking one of my older, actually one of my first Flash games, my first 2 Flash games, in Unity, as I am learning Unity to get my chops together for that. I had done AS3 with Flash, CS4 Flash actually, a while back. Made some games with it, and they were alright, but they weren't anything special. Then I moved on, made some stuff with Stencil. Again, getting a bit better. Still nothing that special. Now I'm getting on with Unity because I realize that's what I need to know. That's the tool that I need to be proficient with if I want to be doing something other than broadcasting and actually want to get my development chops together to make some sort of reasonable kick-ass game. So that's kind of what's been going on over the last 11 weeks. I've been learning Unity 3D, you've been learning C#. I used the Unity 3D tutorials, actually. In fact, let's see. So those are the 2 that I completed. The lower one I actually did first, the Unity C# tutorial, and then I did the Pixel.NET 2D game tutorial. I wouldn't say that it made me a Unity wizard or anything by any means, but it definitely helped me get from having no experience working with Unity development tools and working with C# at all, to at least kind of being able to work with and understand what's going on. And there's still a lot of learning that has to be done because I really didn't have the fundamentals of programming down to begin with before, so I'm trying to learn more of that stuff along the way as I progress. But I'm only doing 2 hours a day. I might expand the schedule at some point in the future, but right now I just prefer 2 hours because it keeps me coming back every day. I'm doing basically 14 hours a week of it, and feel like I've been fairly productive with the learning process, even if I haven't actually moved as far forward with the game as I necessarily would have hoped to. What I'm doing is way more difficult than the Pixel.NET 2D game. It's a shump. It's, you know, enemies on a track. That's actually one of the easiest things to do. You mean like HTML? I mean, coding sometimes looks a lot like coding because there's a lot of similar syntax, but like comparing C# to say JavaScript would be a lot closer to C# to HTML. HTML is a complete ugly beast. All right. So this large section here is what I'll be using to scan for the remaining targets. It's been a while. Do you remember what you were coding them in? Do you still have any of your old samples hanging around by any chance? Oh yeah, there was a link I was gonna grab earlier. Didn't copy it, but I definitely need to check this game out. Ah, stupid advertisement. Oh yeah, I remember that trailer. Yeah, CaesarCon, if you're around, I do remember seeing that trailer a while back. I wasn't quite as, I guess, enthused by the way they decided to do the art for that trailer. Could have picked a different way to represent the game, I feel like, but could be a lot of fun. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm pretty sure this set of checks actually does work. But I'm pretty sure the first check was just taking precedence. Honestly, this first check should really be all I need. I just need to make sure that all of the targets and the waves have been cleared properly. Though that is the end of wave 2, and I should have a proper indicator that it's taken out wave 2. See, because removing this one from the list, and then it does a count real quick to see if the other waves are basically still up or not. but it doesn't specifically say this wave has been removed, which it probably needs to. Or I guess it's not actually removing the wave unless all of the targets have been removed. I mean, that's fine. I guess I don't really want it to deploy the next wave until the current one's not if you destroy wave 2, it shouldn't deploy wave 3 if you still have targets from wave 1 hanging around, is I guess what I'm looking for here. If I decide I want to change that functionality later on, I can. And eventually probably will, so I can let people record how quickly each wave actually gets completed if they want to do the super time tests and everything. Cool deal, Jay the Badger. I would also recommend, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, I'll type them out for you here. What was the one for Vlambeer? If you're looking for other, you're interested in other developers that broadcast while they work on development, Siege Games, that's the creator of Kriya, that's Jason McMorris. Really awesome guy. I've actually had him on, it was actually one of my longest episodes of Procedural Powerhouses, which is a show I do on the weekends, spotlighting games that feature procedural generation as a major aspect of gameplay and world building. And Kriya is an awesome game. It might look like Terraria on the surface because all 2D sandboxes kind of look like that a little bit, at least if they have kind of natural-ish looking tones and themes and stuff to them. Completely different. It's got, for one thing, you don't have grappling hooks everywhere. For another thing, it's moddable. Players are openly able to make their own mods for it. And for another thing, it's actually got like a research system and a skill level up system, so it's got a lot more actual character advancement than Terraria. Terraria is just, you know, what your equipment is plus a little bit of health and mana increases from the little health crystals and the stars you can find around at night. Dungeon Mans, I also had them on Procedural Powerhouses. That's Jim Shepard making pretty awesome procedural roguelike adventure game. I think he's on was he Mondays and Wednesdays? Black Ice I think was Tuesdays and Thursdays, or maybe I'm getting those two. I know Vlambeer is like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something as well. Black Ice is a first person procedural kind of thing. It still has some more features and stuff to be going into it, but it's pretty cool where it's at right now. And Vlambeer Games is the one who makes Nuclear Throne. I don't usually get to catch their broadcasts, and I'd imagine they're pretty wild because they do have a $13 subscription on their website or on their channel. And I don't know what the benefit is for subscribers. But anyway, yeah, definitely some folks to check out. And I know there's other developers out there. I haven't met them all yet, but it's definitely something I'm trying to keep an eye on and keep a list of. You know, I will just leave this part alone for now. User with the name, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Anyway, I've been talking for a little bit here. I'm actually gonna stand up and take a quick little stretch break real quick and see what's going on. No, they actually broadcast under the names for their game. If I had Unity on here, I'd be broadcasting under Unity. If I actually had this game far enough along that I really wanted to represent it as a game, and was getting ready for like a Kickstarter or a Steam Greenlight sort of thing, I'd probably contact Twitch about getting the game up on the list. But right now, gaming talk shows is the most apt for what I'm doing, just because we don't have any other identifiers or anything. Um, that's just what it is. I'm actually really hoping that they'll give us an option to, if you're actually developer or working on a specific thing, there's the not playing and playing tabs that you can select when you're choosing what you're doing, but giving another tab for developing, so people who are actually working on a game can do that, and then you can sort through Twitch for developer streams only instead of who's broadcasting games. I don't know if that's a feature they would do anytime soon. Still no joy of getting Unity channel. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see when we get to that point. But anyway, I am going to come back in just a moment. I'm going to get up and stretch for a moment, and I think everybody is awake now, so I'm going to say hello to folks. Developer chat room. You want to talk to other devs? Hey, that's a great idea. Thanks. I should check that out. Scroll back up, see what y'all been talking through here. All this functionality is fine, just so long as when all the waves are destroyed. Oops. You know what? I'm actually going to scene view here. You, get over there. You. Whoops. No. Just grab this here. You, get over here. Alright. Now when I start it up, no, they're still definitely not where I need them. What am I thinking here? I want to do this. This one's gonna... I just want to space them out a little bit more, so when I start moving them, I don't get myself all crossed up. There we go. So, all waves removed. The next wave, please. Currently in progress. Cool, Tetravis. Actually, I met at E3. I got to meet Chase, who's the PR director for Twitch. I followed up with him. He's already put in a request for either Unity or game development or both, as a way for people to indicate what they're doing. So it's in the works. They know about it. They're still, in fact, I think that poll they put out about 2-3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, was something to kind of feel it out and see if that's something that people actually want to watch on here. Unity actually does have an official Twitch channel. Yeah, it hasn't been used in over a year, other than by Unity, if I'm not mistaken. Because I've tried picking Unity and it won't let me. It's there's some browsers and there's some artifacting, or not artifacting, old like methods and stuff where you can actually tell it what game you're playing. You just type it in rather than having to select from a list. I don't know, but I can't do that. Maybe it's an issue with Chrome or something, but it won't allow me to put in what I'm playing, what I'm doing. And it used to. Yeah, Unity is on weekly, but I don't. They might have some special consideration because I can't pick Unity. In fact, let me go to Twitch real quick, and if I put U, gives me nothing. UN gives me UN. When I finally type UNITY to have it say that I'm doing Unity, the only option that comes up is Unity of Command? I don't know what that is, but it's not Unity. I put in Unity 3D and I click update and it says, sorry, we don't recognize that game. And I can do that on either page and have the same result. Unfortunately, I can't actually tell it to say Unity. So it's got some quirks to it right now. They're working through some of that stuff, but I think they're trying to make it so you can only play a game that's actually listed on the official list. The last Unity 3D video that I was able to find is labeled like a year ago, though. So it was something that was possible. I'm just waiting for them to bring it back. H1Z1 wasn't even on the list for a while. It was only after E3 that I was able to get them to put it up. Otherwise, the only people that could access it, I guess, was SOE. Yeah, I wonder if it's an account by account sort of thing either. Like some people can use something and some people can't. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense, Dave. Next wave. Maybe Shadow. I mean, you used to be able to use old labels. In fact, I've got a real funny one to bring up here. Look at what game Dave Georgeson has listed. It is so specific. There is no possible way that Twitch went through the time and effort to put in a label for that specific game, and I don't think he's changed it since then. So, and I want to deploy the next wave. chances are that's going to end up being a static function. Is that going to break everything? Yeah. I guess I can probably already access it from other stuff, huh? No, I can't. You know, I'm probably gonna have to deploy out of level manager anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to use another browser. Well, no, I don't want to log in another browser, actually. This is a remix of a tune from Portal 2? Okay. Gosh, how do I want to do this? Because I can't just... Am I just being silly about it? Do I just... I can't just do that, can I? Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm probably almost gonna need to make a, like a separate class or something for create target, huh? I'm not even sure how I want to store the targets, to be honest. Yes, save. Why are you closing things? Just open the new thing I tried to make. That's it. I don't know if I could just do that with the level manager though. I kind of think it needs to be a mono behavior, doesn't it? Oh yeah, just to let everybody know, I'm not going to be doing Unity Daily tomorrow. I'm going to be going to San Diego. San Diego's the place to be for the SOE block party that they're going to be doing from noon to 6, but that's why I'm going to be leaving early so I can hopefully be getting there close to noon rather than showing up halfway in it. So, yeah, that should be fun. I gotcha. So whenever I spawn a target, this is all the important data that needs to be passed through. So Tannis, if I was going to create a new class that just does this, I would do that down here, right? Oh, create target should be its own script, you're saying? Okay. I can dig it. To object. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if I needed to put anything else before or after. But if it's just a matter of Grabbing create target. It's part of mono behavior. Well, shit. So, so that's not gonna work. Oh man. Hmm. 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 Can I use something other than instantiate? That's a good question. So then how would I actually do that? I mean, make it non-static. Okay, that's easy. You're saying just create an instance of create target? Or I understand it's probably real easy, but I don't necessarily understand what I'd be doing about that there. Game object is also part of mono behavior. Just create an instance. Which thing should I be creating an instance of? The class or the function or instance of the class? Oh yeah. Really, it doesn't autofill for mono behavior? That's capital M. Put the script onto an object and reference that. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. I'll be back in just a moment though. You guys keep on thinking about this. Thanks, Nightbot. What the hell have I just come back to? This song gets a 1 star. The fuck? No. No, no, no. I'm gonna keep downvoting that person's stuff, I guess. Someone actually requested this track. Shame on you, user John. I'm gonna have to request stuff opposite you. Okay. Private target creator. Let me put the script object reference. Hey, Mr. Pound Sign, how you doing? Are you saying somewhere else I would use? Doing alright. Been making a little bit of progress here. Started up a new show earlier. Steam Daily, where I'm going through every game on my Steam list, 1 or 2 a day, or possibly even more if they're shorter games. Or games that only require a couple sessions to understand what they're all about, like Super Hexagon. I don't expect to sit there playing that for 2 hours. I could, but I'm not going to. But that's a long way. That's maybe December or something when I get to that point. Certainly closer to the end of the year. Okay. So you're saying something like that? And then when I need it, I would do like a... Oh, I need to change the name of that. Create target to target creator. Unity dev is going alright. How long till I acquire... I don't want Blizzard. I mean, if someone's gonna give me Blizzard, I take it, but I'm not, like, on a mission to acquire Blizzard. Yeah, I would have to assign this to an object because it's referencing the target prefabs. I guess I would put it on Gameplay Manager then, huh? But now I'm starting to get into some really, oh yeah, I bet Pound. I'm talking about the company Blizzard. Are you talking about a different Blizzard? I should make an indie survival game called Blizzard, where you're just trying to survive in a blizzard, and then oh yeah, the basically just doing it to have the battle and litigiousness with the Blizzard game company. That would be fun. Alright. Cool deal. Man. What's gonna be the best way to set this up? Well, of course they would, Dave. That's the point. And I mean, I would get the indie community behind me, because they're like, no, they're just being litigious, even though that person totally used the company name for the name of a game. But you can't just reserve Blizzard. Like Edge, when Edge Magazine was attacking any game that had Edge in the name, or the more recent King Games trying to attack anything with Saga in the name, even it has absolutely nothing to do with shitty free-to-play microtransaction grinding Facebook puzzle games. So I would get support and backing just for doing it, and it would, be able to put me on the map, even if it isn't going to be a game that people would actually be able to access. I wonder how I could pull that off. It would be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. The Saga thing was just disgusting. Like, I pretty much closed off all of my King games and started ignoring any requests from anybody who wanted to have me play their King games. Terrible company, really. They should just not exist. Really, Dave? I don't remember that. Actually, Tanis, the person who made the Game Boy game X could then go through and be like, oh, Mega Man X, that entire series, that all leverages off of a previous game that I had with this name. Therefore, give me money or cease and desist. That was a game made in what, the late 80s, maybe the early 90s. Oh, Elder Scrolls. Was it because the art looked similar to their style, or just the fact that it had been done? Because I'm sure it'd be easy to cite like 100 movies that do that. Whoops. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Hmm. That's funny. Welcome back, user with a name. Right now I'm just kind of writing the plan for going forward here, and then when we start back on Saturday, we'll be able to get after it a bit more. Yeah, a whole bunch of issues. Deal with those later. Yeah, no, I guess I have to make a game called Blizzard. Or maybe The Blizzard. Cool. Well, thanks for linking that. Edge was a magazine that talks about video games, and they were able to successfully attack, I think, Mirror's Edge and a few other games. Mirror's Edge, of course, they were able to pull it off because it was a bigger company, but there were some other games with Edge in the name that they had, I believe, successfully used litigious power to take unnecessary action against. So, you know, it might be something that they actually have grounds to deal with. Well, also, Dave, it was wasn't the Swedish, did they say, courts that said no, you can't do that? I guess it depends on what court you're going through. U.S. courts, I'm sure they'd be like, small company, screw you. Big company with big lawyers. But it really depends on, I guess, where it's going down and how it's going down. To be fair, though, I could probably get legal representation from the International Game Developers Association, of which I believe there are many members from Blizzard, to come to bat for me for the legal side of it. Both the Los Angeles chapter and the international. Tennis, I think that was before Edge Magazine. Maybe, but I think that was before Edge Magazine existed. Honestly, they already had the game Soul Edge established, so I don't think they would have had to change it for a Soul Edge 2. Yeah, Tetravis. You might be right there, because they didn't refer to the legendary weapon as the Soul Calibur and Soul Edge, I don't believe. Well, yeah, they can't anymore, but they used to. Like Edge of Space, indie game would have been attacked if it was that period in Edge magazine's history. Gotcha, Tetravis. Well, that's the funny thing. You can attempt to sue anybody over anything, and if the courts don't immediately throw it out, then you can proceed with it. So, it's one of those, like, you might be incorrect in doing the thing, but if the courts don't recognize that and they let you continue with it, and I mean that can vary from, court to court, judge to judge, person to person making that judgment. There's probably some exceptions to it, like I bet you can't be sued if you make a something called Cowboy or Cowboys, even though there's the sports team Cowboys, and I'm sure that there's all sorts of different other uses of that copyright. However, if you have a game called Cowboys and you've got blue and silver for the text or something, I could see that being enough for them to attack for it. Yeah, probably that too, Dave. I'm about a judge in the family. I don't know if he's still doing it or if he moved on to bigger and better things, but should ask him and see how much judges really get kickbacks and that sort of privilege and stuff, or if that's something that they just don't talk about. Okay. Next level. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of where I'm at with things right now. So, I'm going to save it here. This is the end of the set for now. Thank you all for coming, especially the new folks here that I just got them follows from, that you just came through and joined the channel and started checking things out. I really appreciate it. And of course, I always appreciate all the help I can get with this stuff. It might be obvious to some, but not to me, because I'm still learning it. So yeah, we will proceed with this again on Saturday. Bye-bye. I'll be back in 3 hours for Dead Feature Rant.